many of you get intimidated or maybe overwhelmed when mealtime rolls around? It doesn't have to be that way. Joining us this morning as part of our book author series is Suzanne Burak. She's here to tell us how to take the craziness out of cooking so that we can put healthy, great-tasting meals on the table to enjoy with our family. She says it's all possible with a little help from her book, Home Food, Comfort Food with Attitude. Welcome to the show, Suzanne.
Thanks, Beth.
First of all, I love the title of your book, Comfort Food with Attitude. I get intimidated in the kitchen. I know a lot of moms at home probably feel the same way. How am I going to get dinner ready? What am I going to put on the table? How can we take some of that intimidation out of the process of getting mealtime together?
I run across people all the time, Beth, that say they can't cook or afraid to cook. Cooking's too hard. So 2 words, familiar and simple.
Okay.
So in my cookbook, I usually direct them to the first recipe in the book, which is 3-ingredient appetizer meatballs. They're absolutely incredible. They take no work at all and will give someone the confidence that they need to come back again and start cooking in their kitchen. It's important to cook, and it's important to cook things you're comfortable with.
Yes, and build your confidence.
Exactly.
You say in the book that getting prepared ahead of time is key to making sure that you make great tasting meals. I'm not a very organized person. How can you encourage us and help us get prepared to make our meals?
Okay. Well, the first thing is don't wait until dinner time to think about dinner time. Think about it a day, 2 days in advance. What I do is I actually do all my cooking on the weekends for the whole week.
Oh.
And then that way I just warm and serve. It takes the guesswork out of it. I make better choices, and I've got home cooked food on my table every night of the week. Very little effort.
And you love to promote the use of fresh ingredients.
Absolutely.
Which is so important these days because we see so many additives, preservatives, hormones, all these things in our food. One of the things that's very difficult for a lot of people, you can't really get to the grocery store maybe every day. Your schedule's too busy. What can you do to still have these fresh ingredients without having to constantly spend all of your time at a supermarket or farmer's market?
Well, exactly. And I can only get to the store once or twice a week myself. I'm as busy as anybody else out there. So one of the tricks, and I have some items here, is that you can freeze a lot of items that would be fresh ingredients in a meal. For example, onions. How many times have you found a recipe that calls for 2 onions, but you have to buy them in the
have this whole bushel of them.
Exactly, and you end up throwing them away.
Yeah.
So what I recommend is taking and chopping all of the onions, same with the red or the yellow, putting them in a freezer zip top bag, putting them in the freezer. You can grab a tablespoon, whatever you need for that next recipe, and I promise you it will taste just as good.
And how long will that last you?
It will last you months and months in the freezer. In fact,
great.
they actually sell chopped onion in the freezer section in the vegetables.
And they charge you way more for it.
Exactly. But if you don't like to chop onions, you don't want your makeup to run, you can go that route. Peppers are the same thing. Fresh herbs. When you buy a bunch of fresh herbs and you only need 1 sprig, go ahead and put them in a zip top in the freezer, and you can peel those off for recipes as well and have fresh herbs.
I always waste my fresh herbs.
Pasta is something that people don't think about. This is cooked pasta. If I take this out of the freezer, all I have to do is run it in a colander under hot water, and it's back to like it was fresh.
And it's ready to go.
It's ready to go.
That's a quick way to get pasta on the table.
Exactly. Breads. I used to think, my sister froze breads for years, and I used to think that it would come out hard or freezer burned. It's not the case at all. I make fresh hamburgers for my daughter for her lunches at school. So I take the frozen hamburger bun out in its zip bag, put it in her lunch. By the time lunch rolls around, it's exactly as if it just came out of the bag.
It's the perfect piece of bread.
So I freeze bread all the time because I've thrown too much away in my life. So this is a new trick that I've just started.
I like that one. And bacon, what is this?
Bacon, hot dog, sausages. The cool thing about bacon is sometimes they call for a slice of bacon. So you would think that when you're freezing bacon, you'd have to thaw it out to peel a slice. Not so much. All you need to do is cut the frozen bacon 1 inch from the end. That's equivalent to a slice of bacon. And then you can put it back in the freezer and keep cutting down.
I like that tip because I end up cooking the entire pound and then I eat it all in one sitting. Not a good idea. You also promote cooking, making family time, cooking time, that make your meal family time. How do you make that happen? We have great pictures of you with your daughter making food in your kitchen. How do you make it family time again?
Well, first of all, it's real important for everybody in the household to have some stake in the game. They'd be more willing to try new things, they'd be more willing to come to the dinner table if it's something you don't normally do. Get their ideas about menu choices, what they want to eat, go over recipes, shop with you, and most of all, cook with you. My daughter and her friends love to cook with me. Their favorite thing to make are these mini meatloaves. So they get to squish and get their hands all dirty and all the meat with the ingredients. press them in the muffin tins, watch them bake, and then they get to serve it. They're proud, they try new things, are more enthusiastic about dinner time when they're not just called to the table, but they participated in making the table beautiful.
That's a great idea. Now, really quick before we're out of time, why should folks buy your cookbook? There's so many options out there. What makes yours different and fun?
Beth, I've spent the last 10 years perfecting familiar family recipes, and I have taken over and over and over and made them perfect. So you can be guaranteed they're familiar, they're simple, and that you will get the oohs and ahs. This will be the book that you will pass down through the generations. This will be the family cookbook, the go-to cookbook for your meals.
I'm sold. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
I can't wait to try all of these. I'm ready to start my confidence with the meatballs.
Chicken and dumplings, that's the best one in there.
Oh, and it's good Southern food. Thank you for being with us. If you would like more information about Suzanne, and if you'd like to read some of her articles, or if you would like to pick up a copy of her book, Home Food, Comfort Food with Attitude, just check out the website SuzanneBurak.com.